Ronnie said first, hydration.
It's very hot in Arizona.
I'm over here ready to shoot, and he's drinking water.
So, all right, we're on the BRZ today. We have super exciting news. It runs. We've been dealing with Haltech for about the past week, trying to get this thing right because we have some weirdness going on. But we have a running 3UZ in our BRZ with the 6-speed, with the factory options working, which may be the only one in the world.
And that's all 3UZ? Or is there some 1UZ?
It has a 1UZ pan, but it was only because my 3UZ was rear sump and I needed front sump. That's
oh, okay. Okay. I just remember you having to get a 1UZ piece for some reason.
Yeah, that was it.
Right on.
Because you can get a front sump 3UZ. That's not what I got.
Gotcha.
So we're going to fire it up for you guys, show you that it does run, because it's very exciting. Hey, look, this is probably hydration from yesterday. All right, let's fire this thing up.
Fire it up.
This is the first thing we got to do. I come out here every day and just start my car. Don't mind the squeal. The squeal
throw
is a
out
throw-out
bearing.
bearing.
Sounds super good.
Yeah. All right, so pretty sick, pretty sick. But you can see, I'm sure you guys can see it, it is like running like dog shit. You can see the motor shaking and everything. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. I already diagged this yesterday. We have 3 cylinders, 3, I did 4, 3, that are missing, 2 on this side, 1 on that side. And Bo was asking, he was like, well, how do you know when a cylinder is misfiring? Like, what's the easiest way? Depending on what kind of car you have, if it's fuel injected, if you can get to an injector, just unplug an injector or unplug a coil. Either one will show you. So if we watch this motor and listen to it, you can hear it kind of idling, everything seems good. And I'm gonna pull this coil, or this, you see that? Can you guys hear it, hopefully? When we plug it back in, she picks back up. So that's how we can find a missing cylinder really easily. So we're just gonna start and we're just gonna pull every one. So there's another one. That one's running good. That one is not doing shit. So I'm just gonna leave it unplugged. And then we can get back here, grab this guy. Okay. So that's our missing cylinder over here. Now we come to the other side. We're just gonna run through, do the exact same thing. Grab all these. That one's running. That one's not. That one's not. That one is. Okay, I'm gonna shut the car off for a second. So now we've determined and marked our missing cylinders. Pretty simple, pretty easy. If you have such a slight miss, it becomes very hard to do this exact thing, but when you have a complete dead miss like we do, easy peasy. So if you don't have tools, that's fine. I like this guy. This is a little inline spark tester. So this side goes on the spark plug, this side your coil goes on, and there's a light in here, and it's just gonna flash. So we're gonna start off on this side. Go ahead and pull a coil. Put our bolt up there. So we got our coil out. And we're gonna set this in here. Now, again, if you don't have one of these, I'll show you a different way to do it. But get this guy down in here. And he's gonna kind of clip on. You can look down in there and you can see that it's on the spark plug. Can you see that? Am I too bright?
We can see that mostly.
So that's something that you're gonna have a hard time with deep coils like this, is like making sure that's on there. But get that on, and then just shove your coil on here, and then we're gonna start the car. So we'll just go ahead and get in here and fire up the car. Oh, so you can actually see it sparking inside of there, but there you go. So it's sending coil power to the coil. So the spark plug is getting power, but the spark plug might not be working. So next, what we're gonna do Shut the car off. Okay, so we know our coil's good. That's what we just determined. Coil's good. We did that with this. Now, if you don't have that, what you're going to do is you're going to take your coil off and you're going to replace it with a good coil. This coil right here we knew was firing. So we would swap it and we would see if the mis follows this coil. If it does, then we know coil's bad. But luckily we have the light, so we don't have to do that. But we don't have a way to check spark plugs. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to swap spark plugs. So we'll pull that coil out, grab our spark plug socket, shove her down in here. So there's spark plug 1. See, she's disgusting. That's our dead hole. Here's spark plug 2. Looks a bit better. So we're going to shove it in here. So there we go, spark plugs are swapped. Install our coils again. Remember, we know this coil's good because we tested it with our light. Now, we did unplug in our injectors, so let's go ahead and plug our injector back in because it's gonna miss if it doesn't have an injector. Tighten these guys back up. Okay, so those are back on. Let's fire this guy back up. So what we're testing right now is spark plug. We're going to see if the mis followed the spark plug. There's my pliers right there. So we'll go ahead. Still dead. So it wasn't a spark plug issue, and it wasn't a coil pack issue. Because we tested the coil pack, now we tested the spark plug. So, next we're going to use this. I made this. They make Noid lights, and this is kind of my Noid light. It's just a light, 2 prongs, and we're going to unplug that injector. Circuit. And we're going to go ahead and shove these guys in here. Now, because my light isn't fast enough, well, I guess it is. You can see it flashing. Sometimes they'll just like turn orange and they'll just like kind of hold a low glow. But so that tells us it's working. Now we're like, well, this doesn't seem like a whole lot of power. Granted, these don't have a whole lot of power. Well, let's go ahead and test it against one we do know working. You can just hear the car hate that. And we'll plug her in. And that looks the exact same. So I would say that circuit is working perfectly. So what we've determined is we have an injector problem. So there's something wrong with that injector. Now we can do one final check, which we are not going to do because we already have a new set of injectors coming for this car. And we're just going to pull fuel rails one time. But what you would do is you would take your rail off and you would swap your good injector with your bad injector and just confirm that this injector is bad. Like I said, I'm not swapping them because we have a brand new set of injectors coming. Both of these are the exact same. Everything works but the injector. So we figure the injector is bad. There is one cheater trick you can do. You can take a long screwdriver, set it down here on the base of the injector, and listen for it clicking, and that'll tell you if the injector is in fact working, but the tip still could be clogged up or something like that. So We're not gonna worry about that. We already know that's a problem. Now we're gonna go to the other side. This is the bad side. I'm gonna start this with, we're not mad at Haltech. This isn't Haltech's fault. I mean, I guess it is, but things happen. So this is our miss right here, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna go ahead and grab our guy, pull him out, stick our tester down in here. Didn't click on, good. Okay, she's on there now. We'll go ahead and do this again and see what happens. Now you'll see in real time if I did a good job yesterday testing or not. So we have no light. Let's just make sure. So that's telling me the coil's bad. Okay, let's swap a coil. So that coil's not firing. That's our problem. So we'll say, yep, that coil is most likely, oops, bad. Go ahead and unplug him. We'll unplug him and swap them. So now we have a known good coil because this cylinder was not missing. And we have our presumably bad coil. What did I do with my bolt? There she is. Don't mind all the weight loss up here. Oh, yeah, this will be fine. Well, let's don't do it that way. Let's put it back. So she plugged in, that one's plugged in. Let's go ahead and shove this guy back down in here. Okay. So remember, this was our good coil. It was on that cylinder. Let's fire it up again. So we get no light. That was a good coil. So what that means for our car, I wired this thing, it means most likely my wiring's shit. So we would check that. I've already checked that. We will check it again. We'll do it again here on camera, but I've already checked that and my wiring seems to be spot on. So we're assuming that there is a bad output on the ECU. The ECU has a dead output. It does happen. It's rare. It sucks. New parts, expensive ECU. But what are you going to do?
What was the ECU you used?
It's a Elite 2500 from Haltech.
And you bought it brand new?
Yeah.
From Haltech?
Yep. So, and they're really good about it. They told me, they said, go ahead, figure out all your misses, call us back, we'll go over it. And I mean, it has a warranty, so if that is the problem, then it'll be fixed. If it's not the problem, then we have to fix something else. But we're 99%. We're gonna test it again, check everything, show you guys how to do that, and go from there. But if this was your car and it was stock, you would be done at this point. You would say, yep, I need an ECU. You could check wiring, but it's so rare for wiring to actually fail in a factory harness that it probably honestly wouldn't be worth it. But I built this harness, so we're gonna check it. We are at this point where we're testing our wiring harness. And we got our wiring specs off of Haltech's website. So this is 12 volts in. This is our trigger wire from the ECU. And then this is a ground that goes to the cylinder head. I have it grounded right here, and then I have a main chassis ground, not chassis ground, but engine ground that goes from there to the battery. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and start here. We have our power distribution center. Our ignition relay is pulled, and we're just going to ohm these. We're gonna go ahead and set our voltmeter. If you need a voltmeter, we'll have one in the description for little to no dollars. So we are working. We're gonna go ahead and stab into here. Let me grab this. And we're gonna set him into here. And then we just gotta probe around in here. So there it is. So we have good power to our relay. Okay, so that's nice. Now we're gonna check is the other side of that. And so we have power to both sides of the relay. So 3 points on our relay have power. So that's good, right? So that should be working. Now we're gonna go ahead and stick our relay back in because we're done over here. The next thing will be to make sure this relay is good, and we'll do that by checking for 12 volts with the car running. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this in our ground wire, and we're gonna check our ground. So put him there. So we have ground. We have ground. So ground isn't an issue either. So now we get to do the fun part of chasing it down to the ECU and checking our trigger wire. Because again, we always blame ourselves first when we're doing something like this. So let's go ahead and unhook this guy. We're gonna bring him up here, drop him down in the door. Get you a voltmeter that beeps. Then you don't have to come and look and see what's going on when you're checking for continuity. It's just gonna beep and tell you, hey, I'm working. So now we're gonna grab this, our little Haltech cheat sheet. That's the wrong one. Don't look at that one, look at this one. And we're gonna look on here, and we're doing ignition number 6. And all we care about is this number 8. This is our 34 pin connector, connector A. So we'll look at the ECU, and we're looking for pin 8. Okay, so I have both my connectors depinned, or unhooked, not depinned. And on the back here, there will be a number on each end. This one says 9.
Oh, that's nice.
So we know that one's 8. Oh. So that tells us all our wiring is good.
Okay.
So this coil should be firing, and it is not, leading us to believe that the driver inside the ECU itself is bad. Rare issues. Welcome to the BRZ project. It has been nothing but that. So that's how you would check your harness. You just need to know where everything goes. I built this harness, so I know exactly where everything goes. And then we have the Haltech cheat sheet for the actual ECU. If you're doing this on a stock car, you'll probably need a factory service manual. But yeah, so there's your how to chase down a miss. A lot of people have a hard time with that, don't know how to do it. Well, now everybody that watches this video, all 5 of you, will know how to do it. Yeah. Should we do a little update?
Strong
Show
work.
them some sauce?
Yeah. Show us some sauce.
There's no sauce.
There's no sauce? There's no sauce?
No.
Not a little marinara? Not a little Alfredo?
So we were having some issues. We were trying to get this thing running, couldn't get it running. And the throttle body we got off eBay, it's over here, that I painted nice and black and did everything to. And the douchebag on eBay sold to me broken and would not warranty it. So we got this guy. This is like from Venom Power Sports or something. They're in Australia. They sent it over to us, and it's an adapter to run this Bosch Motorsports 82 millimeter throttle body. And we put that guy on there. And now the drive-by-wire works just fine. So That's our sauce.
There's our sauce. Tasty.
That's what we did. We also had a problem with our cam trigger, and we got this figured out last night. So in Haltech software for the 2UZ and the 3UZ, it says it's a 36 minus 2-tooth crank and a 3-tooth cam with one big, one medium, one small tooth here. Well, we were getting home sync errors in our software, but if we ignored the cam sensor, we could get the car to run. I was messing with it yesterday, got a new cam sensor, didn't solve the problem, tried some other things, couldn't get the problem solved. And I was like, man, I only see, I don't know if you can see it, it's obviously moved because we've had the car running. You cannot see it, but down here, I was like, man, I can only see one tooth on this cam gear. And I marked it with this paint pen. I was like, okay, let me mark that, crank the engine over with the wrench, and just, that was the only one that ever came up. And called back Haltech and talked to them, told them what I was seeing. And the guy goes, oh, he's like, well, that's really weird. He's like, maybe you have 1UZ cams in your car or something. And I was like, maybe, it'd be strange because it totally has VVTi cam gears. I was like, so I don't understand. And he's like, whatever, and changes some stuff in the software, and now the car runs and the cam sensor works and everything's good to go. So if you are doing something similar, pull your cam cover or your timing cover and check to see how many teeth you have on your cam gear. That way you don't have the same problem. And if you call and you ask for BRZ in Australia and you tell him that you're having this problem, he'll know exactly what to do.
Say hello, Brad.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Haltech's been great. They've helped us get it running both times that we've had problems. And yeah, everything's good. Little problems, new injectors coming next week. We'll have that fixed, and then we'll just be chasing that one, and hopefully, you know, it'll be, I would prefer it not to be the computer, but if it's a computer, it's a computer. We kind of diagged it to the computer second time, so it's basically 100% it's the computer, which sucks.
Yeah, wiring would be such an easy fix if it was just like a wire.
Oh God. That's why I told him, I was like, I'll just make it batch fire. And then I was like, I'm not rewiring this car. He's like, yeah, I don't blame you. He's like, we'll warranty it. I was like, okay. So, but yeah, that's where we're at. So the car's super duper close. We're looking great.
Nice.
Yeah, do you have any questions, audience? Bo?
I usually have questions, but at this point, this is far beyond my depth, so I would have no idea what even to ask.
Yeah, it's been nothing but trouble. We also had clutch issues. We couldn't get the clutch to work. Put in this Willwood Master, made this custom adapter plate to make it work.
Yeah, because you tried another cylinder, right? You tried one from a
Yes.
SUV or something?
Yeah, it was from an older Land Cruiser.
Yeah, it had like a 3/4 inch push rod or 7/8 or something.
Yeah, plunger. So you want to know the crappy part? That was $30. This was $100, and the other one would have worked. So we think the throwout bearing is making all that noise. We think it was seized up, and that was the issue.
Oh,
why the clutch wouldn't release? Because once we got the car running, it like screeched to high heaven, and then we shut the car off, and now it's just making the little bit of noise that it's making.
yeah.
So, yeah. It is what it is.
Dude, nice diagnostic video. We'll see y'all later.
See you.